everyone, welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to jump in real quick to react to some very exciting news. There's a new Hellraiser video game coming out, and we just got the first trailer. This is exciting on so many levels, so let's get into why. I want to preface this by saying that I am a huge Clive Barker fan in the truest sense of the word, of a fanatic. I've been obsessed with his work ever since I found it in high school. He's my favorite writer, without a shadow of a doubt. This, of course, lends itself to being a fan of the film Hellraiser, which is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. I'm also a really big fan of Hellraiser 2. I know he didn't direct that one, but that one I actually maybe slightly prefer over the first one. That's probably a hot take, but I think they're pretty equivalent for the most part. So the fact that I do love both of the original two movies, and I thought the sequels obviously would go really downhill very quickly, but the first two I hold dear to my heart. And so I was annoyed when I saw the first teaser from Saber Interactive. I was not trusting of them at all. I thought they were going to make another asymmetrical multiplayer horror game to add to the trash heap of Dead by Daylight clones with horror franchise skins. You have obviously Evil Dead, which was brought to us by Saber Interactive, which is now a dead, defunct game. You have Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Friday the 13th, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I thought, well, now they're going to do it with Hellraiser, and so I was a bit disappointed and prepared to be a bit angry and upset. But then today I heard that the first trailer dropped, and I was like, okay, let's see what this is. But before I did watch the trailer, I heard single-player horror game. I heard it was a single-player horror game, and I was immediately drawn in. I was like, I gotta see this trailer right now. So I go and I see it, and it absolutely was so exciting to watch because visually it really does bring back the style of the first two movies. It has obviously the Cenobites from those first two movies, and it really makes Clive Barker's name front and center and his aesthetic sensibilities front and center, which I love very much. And in fact, in an article today by Bloody Disgusting, written by Mike Wilson, Clive Barker had a statement in relation to the game. He stated, "Working on the first true Hellraiser game has been a venture deep into the recesses of my darkest imaginings. The dedication that Saber and Boss Team Games have shown is nothing short of remarkable. They've immersed themselves in the Hellraiser universe, capturing its essence, the seductive pull of suffering, the beauty within the grotesque, and forged a narrative that invites players to step beyond the threshold. I'm eager for both the curious and the damned to experience this new chapter in the Hellraiser mythos, where every moment balances on the brink of nightmare and revelation." And in the article, it states that he did assist the developers with crafting the game's unique story, which is really a cool thing to hear. I mean, I don't know how much involvement he actually had, but nonetheless, the fact that they are making sure that he is front and center is so cool, and definitely they have used his aesthetic sensibility, and they really captured that true essence of Hellraiser in a much stronger way, even just within this trailer, than the reboot or reimagining from David Bruckner ever did, in my opinion. I would definitely recommend you watch the Red Band announcement trailer that they have on their website on hellraisergame.com. That's how I watched it. And you get the sort of uncensored version, which of course features nudity and graphic violence and all the kind of things that you would expect out of a Hellraiser game that's actually true to the story. So I'm just so excited by what I'm seeing. We saw Butterball, we saw Chatterer, we saw Pinhead, of course. Doug Bradley returns as the voice of Pinhead. I mean, there's so much about it that's exciting as a Hellraiser fan that I never would have expected out of a game. I would have expected this really cheap, like I said, an asymmetrical multiplayer game. So I'm very excited by Hellraiser Revival is what they're calling it. And it really does feel like a revival of the spirit of those first couple of movies before Hellraiser 3 really threw things off the tracks in favor of trying to make Pinhead into this like commercial horror villain in the vein of Freddy Krueger, which was completely against the whole point of those first couple of movies. So yeah, I definitely recommend, if you're a Hellraiser fan, you gotta check this trailer out. And I'll just say this, maybe I will make another video in which I give a more in-depth analysis on different elements that I saw in that trailer. I just want to give my instant reaction, my first thoughts. So just for now, I can't wait to see more. I'm definitely going to be a customer. I'm going to be someone who's going to be checking this game out for sure. I'm a huge Hellraiser fan. This is for Hellraiser fans 100%. And even though maybe the gameplay doesn't look as crisp as it maybe will in the final product, I'm definitely willing to put my trust in this project after what I've seen in this trailer. So that's all for today's video. I just wanted to jump on here really quick and give an instant reaction to this awesome news. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.